Okay, good morning. I trust we are doing fine today. We're having a fantastic day. Okay, so I want to attend to something that popped up today. So a client called me and wanted to ask me a question, and this was the challenge. Apparently, the person has a friend who moved into an apartment. On the first point of moving in, the person paid a certain amount. Now, at the time she wanted to renew her rent again, which is making the second payment, what they had told her she would pay on her second renewal was different. They had increased the rent. Now, I don't have a problem with that. You get, it's not maybe something may have happened between the time when you moved in and when you wanted to do a second renewal. You understand, something may have, maybe as a result of you trying to come in, they decided, okay, you know what, I just paid this because you are paying agency and all that. Some people are that considerate. Then maybe by the next day they'll say, okay, so this is what it is that we want you to pay. Now, I don't have so much of a problem with that, but I was told that when it was approaching for the time for her third renewal after her second renewal, um, she was told like 5 months prior to the time she's supposed to make her payment that the rent has increased again. Now, if you look at the scenario, it's giving the vibe of a yearly increment. It comes across, in fact what it is actually a yearly increment from what I'm seeing and from what I heard. So she was asking me if that was normal or if that was legal. Now, first of all, I want to clear a misconception. Well, the law is not really going to tell you exactly. There's no way where the law says maybe like 10 years, because some people, you hear some people say, I've not even lived in your house up to 10 years and you're increasing the rent. Where did they say um you must stay in a landlord's house for 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years before there's an increment? Where did you read that kind of thing? I don't understand. I've heard a couple of people suggest that there is no such thing as that. Now, um there's no 10-year rule, there's no 5-year rule, there's no 6-year rule to increment. In fact, the law would be inconsiderate to ask a landlord to wait for a decade before, or 8 years or 7 or 6 before there's an increment, or even 5. Yes, because there are things such as inflation. It comes and goes, you understand? Yes. And the rule of profit somewhat is, if you are not making at least as much as the inflation rate, then you are losing money even if you are making profit. So the law does not say 5 years, 10 years and all of that. Now, in your increment, the law expects that you should be reasonable with what you are doing, right? Be reasonable with what you are doing. Now, in agreements, there is something called a rent review clause. Some people put it, not all, but there's something called the rent review clause. What does that clause do? That clause kind of intimates you on the likely period that your landlord may review their rent, right? So usually you may see, for a minimum you may see like 2 years. So you may see something like the landlord reserves the right to review the rent within a space of 2 years. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the landlord will review it after 2 years, but at least it puts you on notice that, look, when you move in, you will likely be seeing an increment. You may see an increment within 2 years, as the case may be. You understand? But what I do not understand is why there will be an increment yearly. I don't. That's not right. That's not reasonable, right? So I'm so let's take a look at it this way. So it means, and some of you don't even bother to ask for your agreement. People don't even care. You pay. The funniest thing is that you pay for this agreement, but you don't care about it. And even when you pay and you're giving, you don't want to spend a little bit of extras to give a lawyer to review it, and sometimes you sign away some of your rights and you sign out some kind of important things. You understand? Now, some of you don't bother. These are the things that some of you should ask, or we should ask. Because if this scenario is playing out, it means that there are some people that do it, but it is not really nice, okay? So maybe sometimes when you want to rent an apartment, I think one of the first things you should now ask is, hello, please, I want to know the time duration in which you'll be looking to increase my rent, right? I would like to know when is the likely duration within which you will review my rent. I want to have an idea. And if the person states it, like, okay, I want to see it in my agreement, and I want you to know I'm collecting my agreement. You understand? So just to put that out there, because this is the first time I'm hearing this type of thing, although I give an advice as to what and what to do, but I think I should bring it out for people, since it can play out for anybody, right? It can just play out. So what you should be thinking of also maybe now is, you should ask, that should be part of your investigation. Please, when do you intend to review my rent? Like, what time duration should I be looking at? Okay, so I wish you the best in your rental matters, and I wish you a very good landlord and tenancy relationship. All right, so try to ensure you know what the terms of the rent review clause is really going to help you, seriously, so you don't get into murky waters like this individual got into. Have a fantastic day.